Ladies and gentlemen, close your eyes and imagine a world without the Sistine Chapel, without the serene beauty of the David, or the heart-wrenching intensity of the Pietà. Such a world would lack the indelible mark of one man, Michelangelo Buonarroti, a genius whose vision shaped not only the Renaissance but the very soul of Western art. Born on March the 6th, 1475, in the small Tuscan town of Caprese, Michelangelo's early life was steeped in hardship. His mother's death when he was only 6 years old left a void, and his father's modest means meant that Michelangelo had to fight for his place in the world. Yet even as a boy, his passion for creation was undeniable. At the age of 13, he entered the workshop of Domenico Ghirlandaio, where his natural talent astonished his mentors. By 14, he was under the patronage of Lorenzo de' Medici, Florence's greatest supporter of the arts, and was mingling with the brightest minds of the age. The Renaissance was not just a period for Michelangelo, it was the very air he breathed. Let us first turn our gaze to one of his earliest masterpieces, the Pietà. Created when he was just 24 years old, this breathtaking sculpture depicts the Virgin Mary cradling the body of the dead Christ. Carved from a single block of Carrara marble, it is a paradox of softness and permanence. Every fold of Mary's robe, every vein on Christ's lifeless arm, speaks of Michelangelo's understanding of both human anatomy and divine grace. It was this work that made the world take notice of his unparalleled genius. Remarkably, Michelangelo etched his name onto the sash running across Mary's chest, the only work he ever signed, a testament to his youthful pride and the recognition of its significance. And then there is the David. Towering at 17 feet, this sculpture is not merely a representation of the biblical hero, it is a symbol of human potential, of triumph against all odds. Michelangelo took an abandoned, flawed block of marble, one that had been deemed unusable, and turned it into one of the greatest artistic achievements in history. The David stands not just as a testament to Michelangelo's skill, but to his philosophy. The belief that beauty and perfection lie latent in even the most unassuming materials, waiting for the master's hand to reveal them. The sheer scale and detail, from the tension in David's muscles to the piercing determination in his gaze, captivate all who behold it. But Michelangelo's vision was not confined to marble. His magnum opus, the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, is a universe in itself. Commissioned by Pope Julius II, this monumental project was both a privilege and a torment for the artist. For 4 grueling years, Michelangelo painted lying on his back, high above the chapel floor. The result? Over 300 figures that tell the story of Genesis, culminating in the iconic image of God reaching out to Adam. This fresco is more than art. It is a meditation on creation, a bridge between the human and the divine. The intricacies of the ceiling, from the prophets and sibyls to the delicate interplay of light and shadow, demonstrate Michelangelo's unmatched understanding of storytelling and symbolism. Each figure, each brushstroke, is a testament to his relentless pursuit of perfection. Yet Michelangelo's brilliance was not without its shadows. He was a man of intense emotion, often torn between his earthly ambitions and his spiritual yearnings. He described himself as a sculptor, not a painter, but fate demanded he excel in both. His letters reveal a soul in constant turmoil, striving for perfection, yet haunted by self-doubt. Michelangelo's relationships were also complex. He had few close friends and often clashed with his patrons, yet his loyalty to his art was unwavering. He once said, "If people knew how hard I worked to achieve my mastery, it wouldn't seem so wonderful at all." Michelangelo's works are imbued with his profound understanding of the human condition. He saw humanity as flawed yet magnificent, capable of both great sin and divine grace. This duality is evident in his later works, such as The Last Judgment, where the saved ascend to heaven while the damned are dragged into hell. Spanning the altar wall of the Sistine Chapel, this fresco is both a terrifying and awe-inspiring masterpiece. The dynamic, almost chaotic energy of the composition mirrors Michelangelo's own inner struggles and his preoccupation with mortality and redemption. What makes Michelangelo's legacy so enduring is not just his technical mastery, but his unyielding passion. He believed that art was a divine calling, a way to commune with God. Every block of stone has a statue inside it, he once said, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it. This belief drove him to push the boundaries of what was possible, to create works that continue to inspire awe centuries later. In his twilight years, Michelangelo turned his attention to architecture, designing the dome of St. Peter's Basilica, a crowning achievement that remains an icon of Rome. Even in his final days, he worked tirelessly, sketching and sculpting until his hands could no longer obey his will. Michelangelo passed away on February 18th, 1564, at the age of 88, leaving behind a body of work that forever changed the course of art and history. But what of Michelangelo's inner world? His thoughts, his fears, and his aspirations. To understand his genius, we must delve deeper into his vision of humanity and divinity. Michelangelo believed that art was a divine gift, a way to bring the sacred closer to human comprehension. His sculptures and paintings were not merely decorative but transformative, intended to elevate the soul and inspire contemplation. This spiritual dimension is palpable in works like the Pietà and the Sistine Chapel ceiling, where every figure seems to vibrate with life and purpose. To Michelangelo, creating art was akin to an act of worship, a way to reflect the beauty and perfection of God's creation. Michelangelo's obsession with anatomy was another cornerstone of his art. He spent countless hours studying the human body, dissecting cadavers to understand the interplay of muscles, bones, and skin. This meticulous study allowed him to infuse his works with an unparalleled realism and vitality. Consider the figures on the Sistine Chapel ceiling. Adam, newly created, is imbued with a palpable energy, his form both idealized and deeply human. Or look at the David, where every sinew and tendon speaks of strength and tension, capturing a moment frozen in time. Michelangelo's understanding of anatomy was not an end in itself, but a means to reveal the inner essence of his subjects, to make the invisible visible. Yet for all his focus on physical perfection, Michelangelo was equally concerned with the soul. His art often grapples with profound questions of existence, the nature of good and evil, the tension between free will and divine predestination, the struggle for redemption. In The Last Judgment, these themes come to the fore with an almost overwhelming intensity. The saved and the damned are locked in a cosmic drama, their fates sealed, yet achingly human. Michelangelo's own face appears in the flayed skin of St. Bartholomew, a haunting self-portrait that speaks of his own spiritual struggles and quest for salvation. Michelangelo's genius also extended to his poetry. Less well known, but equally revealing, his sonnets and madrigals offer a window into his inner life. These verses often explore themes of love, faith, and artistic creation, expressing his innermost thoughts in a way that his public works could not. In one poem he writes, "The best of artists has no conception that a single marble block does not contain within its excess, and that is only attained by the hand that obeys the intellect." These lines encapsulate Michelangelo's philosophy of art, the idea that creation is an act of revelation, of uncovering what is already present but hidden. His poetry, like his sculptures and paintings, is a testament to his relentless pursuit of truth and beauty. As we reflect on Michelangelo's legacy, it is impossible to ignore the sheer breadth of his achievements. He was not just a sculptor, or a painter, or an architect. He was a visionary who transcended the boundaries of his time. His works continue to speak to us across the centuries, reminding us of the heights that human creativity can reach. They challenge us to look beyond the surface, to seek the divine in the mundane, and to strive for greatness in our own lives. Today, Michelangelo's masterpieces draw millions of visitors from around the world. They stand as enduring symbols of the Renaissance, a period that celebrated the potential of the individual and the power of human ingenuity. But more than that, they remind us of the eternal questions that define our existence. Who are we? What is our purpose? How can we reconcile our flaws with our quest for perfection? In contemplating Michelangelo's art, we come face to face with the very essence of what it means to be human, a mixture of fragility and greatness, doubt and faith, sorrow and beauty. His legacy is not just a testament to his genius, but an invitation to discover our own